What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm just trying to get this video out so I can be a little bit ahead of the game. I don't really have anything to preface this video with, so let's just jump right into it. Rachel Schoaf was born June 6th, 1996 to Rusty and Patricia Schoaf. The Schoaf family lived in Morgantown, Virginia. Rusty worked at a clothing/apparel store and Patricia was in communications. Rachel was described as a good and obedient child. Skylar Neese was born February 10th, 1996 in Star City, West Virginia. She was an only child to David and Mary Neese, who often called her spoiled rotten, being an only child. She was an extremely smart girl and excelled in high school so much that she was an honor student. Everybody thought of her as a bubbly girl and a great friend. Skylar met Sheila Eddy when they were in middle school and they soon became really great friends. Rachel moved to Star City her freshman year and became friends with Skylar and Sheila. But before Rachel even moved to town, Sheila and Skylar had been inseparable. Like, I think we all know those middle school friendships that we make, and it's like, you just, at that age, you think like this is your absolute best friend. You will only ever be best friends. You know, just kind of that, I don't know what it is. It's like a weird girl bond where if you're friends in middle school, it's like, yeah, that's it. You're going to be friends for life. But Rachel supposedly drove a wedge between Sheila and Skylar, which I think we know girls can sometimes be territorial or try to drive that little wedge a little bit deeper where they can. It seems like friend groups of girls that are in like, you know, a larger group than three just doesn't work out. Like I don't know why this is so hard for me to say. A friend group that consists of 3 girls doesn't always work the best because it seems like either these two are together or these two are together, or sometimes like these two are together, but in the end somebody is always left out. It's so weird. I don't know why it works that way. Rachel and Skylar started competing to be Sheila's best friend, who of course just loved the extra attention. On July 5th, 2012, Skylar came home from a part-time fast food job that she had and then snuck out later on that night. The Neese family lived in an apartment building, but luckily for Skylar, it was on the ground floor, so hopping out of the window was like no big deal. To make it easier to climb out, Skylar pushed a bench under her bedroom window and snuck out around 12:30 a.m. Sheila and Rachel were waiting in a car nearby to pick her up. The next morning, David and Mary found the bench under Skylar's window, and her window screen was in her closet. They realized that she snuck out, but more concerning, she hadn't snuck back in yet. The apartment building surveillance cameras outside the building caught Skylar sneaking out, but it wasn't able to capture the car or the people who were waiting for her. Her parents immediately called the cops to report their daughter as a missing person. At first, law enforcement thought that she was just a runaway, but they still didn't send out an Amber Alert yet. David and Mary posted flyers around town trying to inform anyone and everyone that they could about their daughter's disappearance. Police figured out that the car Skylar got into belonged to Sheila. When she was interviewed, she claimed that yes, she and Rachel had picked Skylar up that night, but then they dropped her off only an hour later. Rachel and Sheila helped Skylar's parents look for her and helped put up missing person posters. Sheila tweeted about Skylar saying, "Rest easy, Skylar, you'll always be my best friend. I wish you more than you could ever know." She tweeted a few other things that were like kind of concerning, but oh, sorry, that yawn just like snuck up on me. But it's like they weren't concerning until after everyone found out the truth of what happened. Sheila checked in on Skylar's parents every day asking for updates, and on one occasion, David even said that he thought that she genuinely cared. The FBI and the West Virginia State Police joined in on the search on September 10th, 2012. Shortly after they became involved, they started interviewing Skylar's school friends, which is a really good move. The big break in the case happened after Rachel admitted that she and Sheila had plotted together to kill Skylar. She had a nervous breakdown and had to spend a few days in a psychiatric hospital a few days after, her confession. And then after Rachel was released from her hospital stay, she called her attorney and confessed everything to him. She claimed that the reason they murdered her was because they didn't like her and they didn't want to be friends with her anymore. So instead of just like telling her, hey, guess what? The vibes are off. Don't want to be friends anymore. Murdering her was just a great move, I guess. Sheila and Rachel plotted out the murder during science class, supposedly. They agreed that they'd count to 3 before doing it. In Sheila's trunk, the girls had assembled a full-on serial killer kit. They had towels, bleach, a shovel, and a change of clothes for each of them. They wore hoodies while carrying their plan out. After they picked up Skylar, they drove not even 30 miles away into a wooded area. They were just going to carry out their plan and then go back home like nothing had ever happened. They stabbed Skylar dozens of times until she quit making weird sounds. The pair was planning on digging a grave with the shovel they brought, but the ground was too hard, so they just drug her body to a secluded area and covered her with branches. After confessing to the murder, Rachel took the investigators to Skylar's body. Classmates began coming forward after Rachel and Sheila were arrested with claims that they overheard the pair talking about how they'd murder and dispose of Skylar. Of course, they thought that they were just kidding, which I fully get. High schoolers are dumb. Like, I would have thought they were joking too. After realizing that they had gone through with the plan, a classmate was sure to call the police. Sheila claimed her innocence even after Skylar's body was found and identified, even tweeting that she wished Skylar would rest easy. During the fall of 2012, the cops continued investigating Rachel and Sheila. Sheila thought that she could pass a lie detector test, even though she was changing her story frequently, which is a huge red flag if, like, you suspect that someone did something. If they consistently change their story, they probably did it. The car was searched and Skylar's blood was found on the seats. Rachel pled guilty on May 1st, 2013 to second-degree murder. In a plea agreement, she was recommended 20 years with a possibility of parole after 10 years. She was actually sentenced by a judge to 30 years in prison and was eligible for parole after 10 years. Remember, this was in 2013. On September 4th, 2013, Sheila was identified as the second perpetrator by West Virginia prosecutors. She was tried as an adult and indicted by a grand jury on September 6, 2013 on 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of first-degree murder, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. She pled not guilty, which shouldn't be a surprise, but like it is, because girl, come on. After realizing that she could face additional charges, she pled guilty to first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison with mercy under West Virginia law. Sheila is eligible for parole after 15 years. Sheila and Rachel are currently being held in Lacken Correctional Center in Mason County, West Virginia. So after all this happened, after Skylar going missing, there not being an Amber Alert, and then Skylar being found murdered, Skylar's Law was created in honor of Skylar Neese. It states that West Virginia's Amber Alert plan had to issue an immediate public announcement when any child is reported missing or in danger, regardless of whether or not the child is believed to have been kidnapped. I think this is fantastic. Rachel had her first parole hearing on May 1st. Supporters of Skylar Neese and the Neese family recently started an online petition calling for Rachel's request for parole to be rejected by the state parole board, according to Metro News. The petition is on change.org. It does have a lot of signatures. I don't know how you guys feel about this. If you think that she was a teenager when this happened, it's been 10 years now. She's learned, she's been rehabilitated, or if you feel like no, she was old enough to know what she was doing and that's not okay, she should stay locked up. Absolutely. Like, I don't know how you guys feel, so I didn't include the petition, but you can easily go and look it up and find it. I don't believe it's been decided on yet. I don't know if this petition will make a big difference. I don't know if like courts take that into account or how that works, but I'm just letting you know that it is in fact out there. Personally, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like as an older teenager, you definitely know what you're doing and you do know that murder is wrong and like there's no excuse. But at the same time, it's hard because it's like, kids are stupid, you know? Like kids can be dumb. I don't know. But I do want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please leave this video a thumbs up if you found it to be interesting. Let me know if you guys have heard of this case. If I missed anything, definitely put that in the comments. I actually really like it when you guys add stuff in the comments. It's really phenomenal because I try to keep my videos around 10-ish minutes, so I don't doubt that there's stuff that I just missed entirely. So yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another true crime career video. Bye guys.